Still a few more days on this trip. Just got in, haven't even got to the hotel yet. I got there and obviously there's not a room at 6 in the morning that's ready. So gotta head back, gonna get a workout in, get some food in me, and who knows where we'll end up, but we're definitely gonna play some more.
And play more we did, but we'll get to that in a little bit, I promise. Like I mentioned before, and I'll reiterate it again, health and fitness is a huge part of me and my life. So even on poker trips or on vacation, I still like to get the blood pumping and get a workout in. So that's what we do right here. Our hotel of choice for this trip was in New York, New York. We never stayed at this property, but that's kind of where the dice landed for us this go around. It's not the best hotel gym compared to other properties on this trip, but it'll get the job done. On this day, we hit a back workout, a few bicep exercises thrown in the mix, but mostly back. One of the things that impressed me was I wasn't the only one in the gym. Usually I am, but on this day, there was a few other members that were getting their workout in also. I can always appreciate another person who also prioritizes their health and fitness, no matter their age, their gender, or their fitness level. It's just really nice to see. So after a really good workout, we're super excited to get back out there. So we head down to the Bellagio to redeem ourselves from our session we just had earlier. Even though it was a Monday, it still took about 45 minutes for our name to be called, because I think 2-5 at the Bellagio is one of the more popular games, but our name does get called, so we sit down with a $500 max and take our seat. It doesn't take too long for us to get involved. We're in the under the gun straddle. The cutoff raises to 30, folds around back to me. We have king deuce offsuit, and we want to get into the mix, so we complete. So we're heads up to a flop, and it's a good one, I'd say. It's 5-4 deuce rainbow. Yeah, we only have bottom pair, but it's just an overall better board for me than it is him. We still check and flow to him, expecting him to make a C bet, which he does. He throws out 25. I don't really think we need a raise here. We don't really want to value on ourselves against an overpair, and if we did have a set or a straight, we would probably just smooth call anyway. So that's what we do, and on to a turn, and it's the 5 of spades. It's not the best card, because from his perspective, it reduces the combinations of sets that I could have. So if he does have an overpair, he should feel a little better about his hand. So with that being said, I check to him, expecting him to throw out another bet, but he doesn't, he checks back. So now we know we're ahead. Now we're just looking for a clean river, preferably any card lower than a 10. We get our wish, but it's probably the worst card in the deck. It's the 4 of clubs, so counterfeiting our 2 pair. So now we don't even beat ace high hands. I don't even know what to do at this point, so I just give up and check. Of course, he throws out a bet, he makes it 55, and we're just forced to fold. I told him we got counterfeited, and he showed ace 9 offsuit. Even though we were super excited to play, we get a surprising tap on the shoulder from one of the floor managers. He asked me if I filled out the questionnaire and if I was approved to film. I said no, that this was the first time I was told about a questionnaire. He said yeah, that you have to fill it out before so you can get approved so you can film. I told him that I've been vlogging for a few months now and no one's ever told me about this. But he was cool about it. He gave me the QR code and I filled it out. And he said, yeah, it takes about 24 hours for you to get approved. And you guys know me, if I can't film, I move on. So we just rack up our chips and head out. Still in the mood to play and trying to get as much content as I can for you guys, we seek out another location and we end up at the Aria. Just like at the Bellagio, it was super packed. So it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to get a seat. But we finally do, and it's a brand new 2-5 game. In the process of sitting down, I notice another phone and stand across from me. It took me a minute to realize who he was, but his name is Romulo. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but he goes by Poker Prophet on YouTube. He's a Brazilian poker vlogger, one of, if not the only Brazilian poker vloggers out there. Super cool guy, and over the session, I really picked his brain, asking him a lot of YouTube questions, because he's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and just a lot more established. So if you haven't checked him out yet, I'll leave his channel down in the description, and go ahead and give him a follow, because he shares a lot of good information. At the Aria, there's a $1,500 max buy-in for the 2-5 game, but we only sit down with $1,150, because our original plan was to play 2-5 at the Bellagio, which only had a $500 max buy-in, and that's all we brought with us was around $1,200. So don't judge, let's get started. I can already tell from the start it's going to be a fun table, because the guy to my left was the straddle advocate, or even double straddle for that matter. Every single orbit he was encouraging the under the gun mandatory straddle. So all these hands are either straddled or double straddled, and in this first hand we get involved in, we're in the under the gun straddle this time. Folds around to the cutoff, Poker Prophet, and he raises to 30. Gets back to me, I make the call with 8-7 of clubs. The guy to my left that we just mentioned shows a deuce of diamonds. I guess he just thought that we were in the hand and I was the original raiser. But oh well, deuce of diamonds exposed, no big deal. So heads up to a flop, me and Poker Prophet, and it comes Queen 8-7 with 2 spades. Not a bad way to start the session, flopping bottom 2. But I check and flow to him, the aggressor, and he sadly checks back. The turn comes and it's a 10 of spades, so board a lot more connected now. The front door flush and some straights get there. Still a better card for me than him, but I don't want this board to get any uglier, so we lead out and we throw out 35. He makes the call, so just looking for a non-spade on the river, and it's even better than that, it's an 8 of hearts. We basically have the nuts with our 8s full. So we can either check and hope he bets, or we can lead out ourselves and get some value for our hand. I just feel like if I check and he checks back, I'd feel so stupid showing down a full house. So we're gonna do our own betting, and we throw out a pot-sized bet. We make it 150. Sadly, he folds right away, but 1 for 1 on the session. Let's go. In this next hand, we don't have video footage, so I'm just gonna show you a still frame of the aftermath. But we're in the undergun straddle for 10. There's 3 callers, and we feel like getting frisky with 6-3 of diamonds. So we raise it up to 50. Only 2 callers, the under the gun 1 and late position. So 3 ways to a flop, and it's Queen 6-9 rainbow. We have bottom pair, backdoor flush draw, and I'm first to act. I make a C bet, I throw out 55. They both make the call, so gonna need a little bit of help. And which we get, it's a king of diamonds on the turn. It improves our equity and hits our range, so we're not slowing down. We throw out another bet, we make it 80. Really just looking to take it down right here without actually having to catch, but that doesn't happen. Luckily we don't see a raise, but it is heads up to a river. I remember thinking in my head, if we don't hit any of our outs, we're probably gonna blast off another streak, but it doesn't come to that because we hit a diamond for our flush. We check to him, making it look like we're scared of the diamonds, and he does take the bait. He bets out 225. There's really no reason to raise because we're only going to get called by a bigger flush. So we just make the call, and he flips over king jack offsuit. So he had a gut shot on the flop and turned top pair and decided to turn his top pair into a bluff on the river. I mean, it could have been for value, but king jack is borderline thin value. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. 2 hands later, we're in the small blind. And for once, there's not an under the gun straddle. I think he just forgot, or he might have been new to the table. But yeah, in this hand, there's no under the gun straddle. The under the gun limps for 5, folds around to the cutoff. He raises to 20. The button calls 20. Action on us. We look down at pocket queens. A lot of dead money in the middle, and we have a premium. So we raise it up. We make it 125 to go. Action on under the gun, and he surprisingly jams for a little over $400. The cutoff and the button get out of the way. I asked him and the dealer if he had any blacks, and he said no, so I obviously call. And here's the run out.
What'd you get?
Holy shit.
gonna lie, I was a little nervous myself when that king came on the river. But luckily we hold, queens versus jacks, all in pre-flop. We'll take it. Remember I said the guy to my left was encouraging double straddles? Well, this is one of those hands. We're in the under the gun straddle for 10, and he's in the double straddle for 20. Folds around to the cutoff, who limps for 20. The small blind limps as well. Action on us, and we look down at queen 7 offsuit. And just for reference, I don't know about other locations, but at the Aria, the double straddle is dead or not live, which means that the double straddle doesn't get last action. So even though it's a double straddle, they treat it more like a blind raise. So normally I would just fold this hand because he could just easily squeeze and I'm forced to fold to any raise. But knowing that the double straddle doesn't have last action and he can't raise, I just throw in 10 more. Seeing the flop 4 ways, it's 10-7 deuce with 2 diamonds. The action checks all the way around. The turn is a queen of hearts. Hitting a pretty good hand, a disguise 2 pair. The small blind checks to me, and we need to throw some money out there, so we make it 30. The double straddle gets out of the way. The cutoff makes the call for 30, and the small blind surprisingly raises to 60. I don't know how many times I've said this from the very beginning, starting this channel, but I do not fold to min clicks. If you guys are with me and you feel the same way that I do about min clicks, then leave a comment down below saying F min clicks. Could be doing this with a variety of hands. He could have picked up a straight draw to go along with a flush draw, or just a top pair, seeing where he's at. I make the call, throw out 30 more, and the cutoff, surprisingly, even though he's getting an amazing price and already invested $30, he folds his cards. So now our head's up to a river, and it comes a 9 of clubs. The front door flush misses, but it introduces some straights like king jack and jack 8. Even with his min click on the turn, he surprisingly checks to me. Think about going for some value, but a missed flush draw isn't going to pay off any size bet, and it would just suck to be jammed on for his remaining $500 or so. So I just check back, I show my cards, and we take it down. We'll never know what he had. About an hour goes by into this next hand. It's past midnight at this point, and a few people have already called it a night, so we're only 6-handed at the moment. The under the gun straddle is on. The under the gun 1 limps for 10. On to us in the cutoff with pocket jacks. The 4th best starting hand in poker. So we're going to bump it up. We make it 45. The button cold calls the 45. And the limper makes the call as well. So 3 ways to a flop. And it's king 3-7 with 2 diamonds. A pretty good board. Only 1 overcard to our pair. And pretty good for our perceived range. The limper checks to me. We down bet. We make it 40. The button makes the call, and the limper gets out of the way. So heads up to a turn, and it's a blank, it's a 7 of clubs. I'm first to act, I continue, I double the original bet, I make it 80. Thinks about it for a few seconds and makes the call. The river pairs the board at the 7 of hearts. There's a little less than $400 in the middle, and I don't think I'm gonna get worse to call, so I decide to check to him, see what he wants to do. Looking to call any reasonable sized bet, but it doesn't come to that because he checks back right away. I announce jacks, and he says you're good. Really smooth session thus far. I don't think we've lost any significant pots this entire time, and we're hoping to continue that momentum with the best starting hand in poker, pocket aces. Not only do we have the best starting hand in poker, but there's an under the gun straddle, and we're on the button. It folds around to the hijack, who limps for 10. And we're not slow playing this at all, so we bump it up, we make it 40. The small blind makes the call, the big blind makes the call, the straddler calls, and the limper calls. So not the most ideal situation with aces, but here we are, 5 ways to a flop. And it's queen 8-6 with 2 clubs. We have an overpair and the ace of clubs, so backdoor nut flush draw. It's an okay board, but still not liking that there's 4 other opponents in the hand. And we haven't had to deal with any hard spots this entire session, but this hand, we might have to put our thinking caps on, so let's see what happens. The blinds check and flow like normal, but the under the gun straddle actually leads for 115. This is kind of what I was talking about when I said we might have to put our thinking caps on, because the lead actually throws me for a loop and it stuns me a little bit. This player is a little new to the table. He heard that our table was a little better than his, so he came on over and he brought a little over 2.5K with him. So I don't really know how he plays, and he covers us by a little bit. Also, leading into the initial aggressor, me, and against 4 other opponents is a pretty strong move. The next to act, the limper, gets out of the way. On to me. I can't really fold to 1 bet because I have aces and backdoor nut flush draw, so I make the call. Both blinds quickly get out of the way, so it's heads up to a turn, and it comes, and it's the 10 of diamonds. Front door flush misses, but the board is a little bit more connected now. A few straights and a few more 2-pair combinations come in. We're in position, so he's first to act, so let's see what he wants to do. And what he wants to do is bet again, and he makes it 285 this time. So let's really think about this and break this hand down. So he's in the under the gun straddle. There was 1 limper, I raise on the button, and there's 2 callers, and he comes along for the ride for 30 more, getting a good price. So he could really have any 2 cards. That part doesn't really concern me. What does concern me is the lead on the flop against 4 other opponents out of position, and also the continuation on the turn. He led on the flop for a little over half pot, and then continues on the turn for 1.5x. Yeah, some straights get in on the turn, but I'm the only one that can really have pocket queens for top set. Wouldn't he be a little concerned about that on the flop? Like I said, I really don't know how he plays because he's new to the table. Maybe he just has a massive draw like King Jack of clubs. Even if he does have those hands, a massive combo draw of some sort, there's just so many bad, scary river cards that can come, and I don't know if I'm willing to pay off a pot size or an overbet jam on the river to find out.
Maybe I'm tired. Show it. Show it. It'll be on the vlog. Oh, never mind. What'd you have?
These 2.
Show it. Nah, show both. You'll be on the vlog. Promise you. Oh, it's all good.
I could get him to show his hand. When he didn't show his hand, I felt a little better about my decision to fold, because usually people that bluff you and that pull off a really good bluff on you, they're eager to show their hand. So when he didn't, I felt a little better that I made the right decision. But let me know what you guys think about my play, and let me know down in the comments what you think he had. Played for a few more orbits after that, but it was getting late and we already had a long day of travel and playing cards, so we decided to rack up our chips, head to the cage, and cash out.
What a way to turn it around, guys. I mean, getting completely owned, completely wrecked at the Encore earlier today to coming to the Aria and turning it around. I mean, completely 180, catching a few hands, making some decent plays. I wasn't completely card dead. I mean, a little bit towards the end, but nothing. I mean, it was just action throughout the whole 4.5 hours that I played. In for 1145, out for 2290, so exactly doubled of what I put in. Anytime you could double your money is always a good deal. But yeah, another reason why it was such a good deal is because I got to meet another vlogger, the Poker Prophet. Really cool guy. When they were talking about vlogging and whatnot, and then found out that I was vlogging, kind of just, I mean, we had a lot in common, just strategies, talking about the vlogs and what made you start, this, that, and the other, just really get to know each other. So that was really cool. Got into a few hands with them, nothing too crazy, just 3-bet pots, maybe hit the turn once, but yeah, got to look back at the film and see, but yeah, nothing super crazy with him. But he was doing pretty good. He caught a few full houses, a couple sets, and yeah, stacked a few people. So he was up a little bit more than me, or a lot more than me, to be honest. But yeah, super cool guy. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go and check him out, Poker Profit. But yeah, I wasn't even supposed to play at the Aria. I was at the Bellagio, and the floor told me that I can't film. They're like, have you filled out the vlogger email thing? And I was like, no, I haven't. So I did that. I said it takes about 24 hours, and you guys know me. If I can't film, I don't play. And so I went to the Aria, but God works in mysterious ways, because I guess I was meant to play there, and I got all my money back, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers, but I think I got all my money back from earlier, so that was good. But it's like 3 in the morning right now, and I'm super tired, super hungry, so I'm gonna head to the room, get some food, and just pass out for I don't know how long. But definitely gonna play tomorrow, don't know where. But wherever we end up, always trying to get into the mix, create some action, and hopefully make some money in the process. But yeah, I am super tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. Hope you guys have a good night. And remember, I'm Matty Ice. This is Gaines Poker. Peace out.
I'm sure some of you probably wondering that the video this time around looked or sounded a little different. And you'd be right, because you literally just watched it from my laptop. I had to put the phone on my stand and just record from my laptop. The last few days have been just super frustrating. I was actually supposed to post this a couple days ago, and the export process just didn't work. I mean, you would think that'd be the easiest thing to do for a software, to copy and paste on a hard drive, on a computer, on a laptop. But no, every time I tried to export it, it didn't work. It would buffer my voiceovers, it would change frames. I was talking and nothing was coming out. Like, the timing was wrong on every account. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I think I edited this thing maybe about 4 or 5 times in the last couple days. I've tried doing the whole video all over again. I tried doing hand by hand. I've used other computers. I've tried everything, and I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy. If you've seen my other vlogs, I mean, I've made significant progress in the last 3 months editing and trying new things, and it's looked a lot better. So I'm pretty happy about myself with that, but I'm really not that tech savvy at all. I studied the human body in school, so all this tech stuff, all this editing softwares, mumbo jumbo, I really don't know anything about it. So if this continues, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, like I said, it allows me to edit, it allows me to do everything, it just doesn't export. I'm like, that's the last thing that I need, that I want. And yeah, if it continues, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really just want an editor, to be honest. I want somebody that really knows this stuff to, I don't know, do all the swooshes and sounds, make it look cool, booms and whatever. I mean, all I'm really trying to do is provide the best content I can for you guys, and I'm not good at this stuff at all. So if you guys know anybody that knows this stuff, that is tech savvy, is an editor, that knows the game of poker, I mean, that would be great. But I'm up for suggestions and willing to do whatever. Like I said, this has been a cool project thus far, and I want to continue. I don't want this to be the end. But like I said, just these last few days have been super frustrating, and I don't know. I'm kind of glad it's over. Just take a deep breath and move on. It's gonna be it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. I know it's gonna work out. But yeah, if you guys seen this video, or if you like the video, if you've seen it, I know you're alive because you've seen it. So it's a great day. Always remember that. And as always, I'm Matty Ice. This is Gaines Poker. Peace out.